Hey there, Leo. Welcome to reading for mid-April 2024. You have the Eight of Cups wanting to pop out there. So I don't take pop outs, but you could be walking away from something. So let's see. You have this past card. It says the past is coming back. Old job or old connection. It also says look to the past to understand the future, a lesson or an old skill. It is Mercury retrograde. I never recommend going back to the past, but I think it could be a good time to review things from the past and see what you've learned. You have this Peacemaker card. It says win-win approach will bring mutual gains. Yeah, anything. I'm a big fan of win-wins right now, of course. I think that we're in a time of co-creation. So, if you're working on a team or with a group or whatever the case may be, it's an amazing time for creating win-win situations with people. And that's what I would do here with this energy for sure. You have the Nine of Wands as your current general energies, and the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. I kind of just feel this is like the end of a long journey. It's like you kind of are the wounded warrior. I feel like you've been on a long journey and you're getting to the end of it and you're just kind of moving forward through life is what I feel there, or you're just kind of trying to see where you can go or where life is going to lead you. I do also feel that you're kind of tired after a long journey as well with that Nine of Wands energy. So, I kind of get a tired feeling here. I'm not sure how I feel about this, honestly. I thought I knew how I felt about this Nine of Wands, but I really don't. So I feel for some of you, it's kind of you have been on a long journey. You're tired or you've been tired, and now you're kind of wondering, can you keep pushing forward? And obviously the answer is yes. And I see a lot of progress coming in for you as well. So anything you're working on, especially for those of you working on, projects, businesses, side hustles, anything like that, definitely I would say don't give up at this time. You have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is your crossing energy. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you. And the Four of Pentacles card of stability. And I feel that you are creating a lot of stability in your life, or you're trying to create more stability in your life. And I don't really feel bad about this either. Again, the crossing energy can be what helps you or hurts you, but I feel like this is something, it's almost like this is something that you're trying to build. I don't think either. I think maybe it's something that will help you in the future if you create a certain type of stability, but I almost feel that this is what you're trying to create is, Four of Pentacles type stability. You have the Four of Swords coming up in the area of what's on your mind. Makes perfect sense. I think everybody, Mercury retrograde, of course, I think people are thinking about, Four of Swords, rest, relax, recover, which, Mercury retrograde is a great time to rest, relax, recover, review, look over things. He is hoping and praying for blessings as well. There's a person blessing another person in this window right here. So I do feel that some of you could be hoping or praying for a blessing or blessings in your life, or there's something that you're hoping and praying for. I would say that I think you're going to get it. You go down to the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success, quick conclusion, good things coming in for you, Leo. So definitely could be some sort of success. You have the World as your foundation, which is amazing. You show up right here on the World. So that puts you in a pretty strong position. But the World is an accomplishment, and the World also can represent standing out in the world or being on top of the world. So you could be feeling a little bit better. I kind of feel more the energy of, kind of winds blowing in your sails. It's maybe, and what I mean by that is maybe things aren't totally perfect in your life, but I think things are a little bit better. Things seem to maybe be going a little bit more your way. Like I said, is it perfect? Hell no. And it won't be perfect for a long time. But what I would say is, like I said, I think you're noticing that maybe you feel just a little bit more lifted up, or the universe is trying to lift you up. And this could be very motivational. Again, we go this way here, and you again go to the Eight of Wands to the King of Cups. The King of Cups is showing up in the area of your future feelings. And the King of Cups has very deep feelings. He has very deep emotions. But, the Eight of Wands is quick success again. So, like I said, sometimes I think when we feel a little bit more supported, we actually, accomplish more. And that's kind of what I get off the World. I know that's not what the World means, but, again, I read intuitively. You have the Seven of Cups coming up in your past position. Seven of Cups is confusion or not being sure what to do in the past, especially in a past position. So I feel for a lot of you that things maybe have not been clear, or you were not clear on things that you've been dealing with in your life. And now there's more clarity coming in for you, or you're kind of, you're gaining more clarity in your life or something with this Seven of Cups coming up in your past. I also feel like you're not like buying into illusions. I think with the Eight of Wands that you've learned that you can't just like think about how something is going to turn out in your life. I'm kind of getting a weird message here that you are more action oriented. Like you are, instead of just thinking about how something could go, or instead of like worrying about the future, for example, I think that you're doing things to find out how things are going to turn out, which is a much better position to be in. You have this disconnection card. It says detached, alienation, indifference. You have this adjudication card. It says advisor, consultant, negotiation. I do feel like some of you could be negotiating like a legal settlement or some sort of legal matter. So if you're dealing with that, that could be coming to an end. It's showing up in your past position of the energy that you're moving past. So it wouldn't really surprise me if you're kind of like bringing something to an end, or you're, closing out a legal matter or legal situation in your life. If it's not that, I feel like you're just kind of closing out the confusion and moving forward. You have the Eight of Wands in the area of your very near future. I feel a lot of stuff going on here with Eight of Wands. Number one, quick success. But again, it's more that that wind in your sails type of energy where you just feel a little bit more lifted up, like a little bit more like the universe is supporting you. But I do feel that this could be having a major impact. It's like sometimes just a little bit of support goes a long way, and that's what this looks like to me. In my head, in my crazy brain, right? That's what I'm seeing. The Eight of Wands is also like quick success, so could be some quick successes. On top of that, I do feel like there's something about communication going on here. Like if you're looking for love, you have that King of Cups, so you could be communicating with a person, or there is communication with a person. There's something here about moving as well. Eight of Wands with the World could be you moving or traveling. So if you're doing any of that stuff, that would be good as well. Next, you have this Gemini card says cross-pollination on it. You have this Cancer card. It says immerse on it. Yeah, I think you need to like immerse yourself in something that you're doing. So in work or business, for example, I feel if you could learn like the ins and outs of whatever it is that you're doing, that you'll become like many, many more times successful with this immersion card. The cross-pollination card is another thing that I think I literally talk about this all the time, Leo. I think that this will create a lot of success. So the cross-pollination card, I feel, is talking about mixing two things together. I literally have been saying for years on this channel that I think people who can like take two ideas and mix them together, like two different thoughts or two different ideas, those people are going to become very successful. So again, it's like I don't know what you do with your life, but it's like maybe there is a different approach to the work or your business or whatever it is you do. And again, mixing two ideas together could make you very successful. It's like maybe you have a YouTube channel. Maybe you need to mix two ideas together about, and maybe that will be the thing that is very successful. It's like if I started a cooking tarot channel, right, where I cook and read tarot at the same time. And, that's just one example. So I think that moving forward in the future, people who, again, take two seemingly different ideas and somehow make them work together, that is going to be like a superpower. I would definitely think about it. You're going to have to think about it. You're not going to come up with a good idea right away, but anything you do would be a good idea. In the area of the next few months, you have the Seven of Pentacles. I kind of feel two things here. Number one, I feel that your finances are doing much better than you thought they would be doing over the next few months. So get out of your head, especially for you Leos. I know you worry about money. So if you're worrying about money or finances or where your money is going to come from, I would stop worrying about it. I think that it's going to be much better than you think. Your outcome card is literally this new moon in Taurus that says prosperity lies ahead. So you are creating a lot of prosperity, or you're about to have a lot of prosperity. The Seven of Pentacles, though, is also a change in direction. He's looking at those Seven Pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? He's like wondering, like, is it worth it for me to put all this energy into what I've been growing, or is there something better that I could be doing? So it wouldn't surprise me if some of you, discover a better way to do what you're doing. I'm not saying, and especially fire signs, I get this feeling for all three of fire signs that maybe you're not completely changing your career or changing your business, but you could just be discovering a better way. You could be discovering another way to promote what you're doing, or to, kind of put it out into the world. And that's kind of what I get here with this Seven of Pentacles. You have this Strength card. I feel like you are very strong at this time, or you have developed a lot of strength. This is showing up in the area of your closest relationships, which is all relationships. And the Strength card is you, Leo. So you're showing up in a very strong position. Whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength, and you're showing up in this area of like the social part of the reading. So you really could be getting a lot of attention from the people around you. You could just be feeling very supported by the people in your life as well, which is great. So, of course, this is a good thing. And yeah, I feel good about it, Leo. I feel like you're feeling supported. You're feeling like you can accomplish great things. I feel like you're feeling like people are on your side. And like I said, this is a good thing. I also feel like you feel recognized as well. So sometimes I feel with a strength card that it can say that people are recognizing you for your strength. So you could feel like people are understanding you better, or you could feel like people are finally seeing all the work you do, or whatever the case may be. In the area of your future feelings, you have the King of Cups. Pretty good. He's sitting in choppy waters, but he is perfectly fine. So it pretty much says that no matter what's going on around you, that you are going to be feeling perfectly fine, that you are going to be feeling supported, and you are going to be feeling secure. So he is sitting in the deep ocean, and it kind of represents his deep emotions. And I feel for a lot of you that you could be exploring your emotions, or you could be understanding your emotions on a like deeper level as well. You have this Knight of Swords as your outcome. Knight of Swords is like a rushing energy. I feel pretty good about this for you. I go both ways on the Knight of Swords. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. And in your reading, I do feel this is pretty good. I think you're building momentum. You're kind of creating more success. I think you're understanding. There is like a little sense of urgency here, which that I don't like is what I would say. I always get this feeling for you, Leo, where it's like some of you might be on edge, and it's like you have this sense of urgency because you're like panicking that you're not going to have money, or, whatever the case may be. So I would be careful of being too, having like, too much anxiety, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but, I would be careful of that type of sense of urgency. There's nothing wrong with getting things done, right? But what I would say is if you're like always freaking out, then I would try to work with that, right? But at the same time, I see you building a lot of momentum. You have this card that says you're very close to achieving your goal. There you go. You have this other card that says prosperity lies ahead. I think that there is a lot of prosperity coming in for you, Leo, and you could be creating a lot of abundance as well. I would say, especially for those of you that are making a change in like the way that you work, or like how you present your work, or something like that is popping into my head. Let's see. With the Nine of Wands and the Four of Pentacles, you have the Hangman. Hangman is about seeing things from a new perspective, which comes up for you a lot. I definitely feel new perspectives are kind of like the key to success for Leo. If you could just see other ways, like I know it sounds so simple, right? But if you could just find other ways of doing exactly what you're doing right now, then I feel like you would find a lot of more success. I think that one time in your readings, I said like, it's almost like, if you're like a nurse, for example, it's like maybe you're becoming like a traveling nurse. It's like you're doing the same thing, but just different, if that makes sense. But also, it's like maybe I actually have no freaking clue what I'm talking about, but I think traveling nurses make more money, if I'm not mistaken. So if what I just said is true, then whatever you're doing, it's like whatever you're doing, you're upgrading it. You're doing it in a different way, and you're just looking at it from a different perspective. So I would think about that, right? With the Four of Swords, you have the Hierophant. This is definitely like the story of Leo for sure. I think Leos are needing to break free from a lot of quote unquote traditions. We have Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is a direct challenge to traditional belief. So we all have things that we were raised to believe. We all have things that, we all have like habits that we develop because of our parents, and, all sorts of stuff, right? And Neptune and Pisces, part of it, not all of it, but part of Neptune and Pisces is to teach us like, hey, you don't have to keep doing these things that you were raised to do for no reason. So again, the Hierophant is the traditional beliefs, and this basically could say that you are setting yourself free by thinking outside the box more with that, with the Hierophant and the Four of Swords. And, I kind of feel like that's what could be going on here. With the World, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is about increasing your resources. And again, we definitely see that here. You could be attracting a Capricorn, by the way, if you're looking for love. Could be a Capricorn, could be a water sign as well. Could be any sign, general reading. But that's what stands out to me. It could be another Leo for some of you. But what I would say here is that overall, I think that this is more talking about your finances and what you're doing to improve or grow your finances. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, maybe you've like bought into illusions in the past as far as love is concerned, and I feel like you're getting into something that is not an illusion. I feel like you're getting into something that you can actually ground in reality, that you can actually create here on Earth. And so, it looks to me like you're more, remember what I said on that Seven of Cups. It's like you're doing things to prove that something is going to work or something like that. That was like the words I was getting. And I feel this is really just saying that instead of just, buying into a fantasy, I think you're kind of like putting in the work to see realities of whatever it is that you do. Could even be people, right? And you're really kind of putting in the work to do that. I don't know how else to say it. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, definitely time to take a risk, by the way. So if you are setting yourself apart, or, if you are, like I said, looking to get that raise or promotion or change your work or whatever, it's obviously going to be a risk. And I do feel it's a risk. This could also be the risk of like talking to a person. Like if you're interested in a person, or, if you want a raise or a promotion, maybe you have to ask for it. And the Eight of Wands really does represent communication. I also think that it would just be a good time for you to socialize. The Five of Swords maybe says that you haven't been spending enough time socializing. The Eight of Wands is my card of socializing. You also have the Strength card here in the area of your closest relationships, so it might just be a good time to spend more time with your closest relationships. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you, walking towards success. So I feel for a lot of you that you are walking away from something. I mean, Seven of Pentacles, like I said, is a change in direction. Eight of Cups is walking away from something. This is also the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it, and we just had that eclipse on the 8th. So, again, even though it was on the 8th, doesn't matter. This could be, you could be walking away, 6 months from now from something because of the eclipse. So, eclipse energy lasts for a long time. And what I would say here, though, is Seven of Pentacles is my card that says, is the juice worth the squeeze? I feel over the next few months, you really could be looking at the things in your life that you do and saying, is it worth it or not? And you could just be doubling down on the good stuff. That Prosperity Lies Ahead card says that this is probably one of the things that will help you increase your prosperity. With the Strength card, you have the Seven of Cups. Again, this is why people are seeing you being strong, because you're doing things in life. Just that simple. I think you are taking action on things that you're creating, doing, being, having, and you're kind of like manifesting things here on Earth. And people are seeing it. That's it. That's all I got there, Leo. Next, with the King of Cups, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands like conflict and competition, but really it's a card of learning, right? So Five of Wands, these people are using sticks to fight. They're not using swords. So I think it would be an amazing time for you to learn. These people learn through competition. That's why it's a card of competition. It might be a good time for you to learn from your competition, especially in work or business. Again, I always say, like, don't compare yourself to your competition, but it's perfectly acceptable to learn what other people are doing and then try it for yourself. And I think that would be very helpful. I do also feel that you could be attracting a person here that there is a lot of competition for. So if you're interested in a person, again, you could be attracting a person that, that a lot of people are interested in. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Moon here. Do not run back to the past for sure with that Knight of Swords. The Moon could represent like a moon period, and the Moon kind of represents fears, fantasies, illusions. And the Moon, there's this path straight down the middle of the Moon, and the Moon is part of the Fool's journey. I always like to remind people that the Moon is temporary. So sometimes, Knight of Swords, he's going towards the past in the reading. So sometimes I do feel with the Knight of Swords that we can get up to something like the Moon, and then we run away from it. And this is basically saying that I think you're about to encounter something like an opportunity, a goal, wish, or dream, or part of your journey where it's like you don't necessarily know what to do. And the whole point of the Moon, one foot in front of the other, right? Don't stop, don't turn around, don't run away from it. It's like, no, maybe it's true that you have no clue how you're going to accomplish a goal or accomplish something. But again, you have this Prosperity Lies Ahead card, and this card says you're very close to achieving your goal, so don't quit now, right? But also the Moon just says the Moon doesn't last forever. The Moon comes up, Moon goes down, Sun comes up. So it's temporary. And, really the secret is nobody has any clue what they're doing in life. So even if you think you don't know what you're doing, of course you don't, but just keep pushing. You have this practicality card. I do feel like the simple answer probably is the answer. It seems to me like we're in a time of like simplicity or needing to keep things simple. So whatever you're doing in life, I would just keep it simple. That's it. You have this isolation card. I think that for some of you, if you're like looking for love, there could be a person that either you are pulling out of isolation or they are pulling you out of isolation for sure. I feel that with that card, but this could also say don't isolate yourself if you are not socializing. You have this inspiration card. I would move towards your inspirations. I think you need to allow inspiration to be your guide. Like, no, it's not logical to let inspiration be your guide sometimes, because, like, if you're inspired to, go become a ballerina, but you've never been a ballerina before, then it's, that's not very logical. But the energy right now says if you follow your inspirations, you will find success. So that's what I would do there. You have this flattery card. See, I feel if you do want love, not really a love reading, but it does show up here, is what I will say. And if you do want love, I feel like you're meeting someone new. It's like maybe you had a past person, but you really didn't see eye to eye. I feel like you're meeting someone who's like very similar, but you actually see eye to eye. You have similar ideas or similar beliefs about life, or you want to move in similar directions. And, I feel like there's something coming in for you love-wise where there's like much more clarity. You also have this restlessness card. I feel like you need to stay away from things that make you feel restless, is what this restlessness card is saying. So, and I feel you need to channel your restless energy as well. This could be through, like literally doing something, but it could also be like, if you're feeling restless, go, do a puzzle or something, right? I think that restlessness is a very destructive energy. So even if you just channel it into something, that's better than nothing. So that's what I would do there. But I really like this reading. I feel there's prosperity coming in for you. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.